Welcome back to How to Isaac, and this is episode 3, The Womb. So, in this episode, we're going to be talking about a lot of things, mostly though about the fourth chapter, The Womb, and also another mode. Well, actually, two other modes. So, let's just get started in here, and first off, let's talk about what The Womb is. So, as I said, the womb is the fourth chapter of the game, which means it follows the basement, the caves, and the depths. And once you beat Mom, the next time you go in and you beat Mom again, then you'll be able to go to the womb. The womb, of course, since it's a new floor, it has a bunch of new enemies and stuff. There's womb 1 and womb 2, yeah, you get it. But we're just gonna stray away from the womb for a second because I need to talk about some niche things. Two niche things actually. So we're gonna start off with dice rooms. So dice rooms can only spawn if they replace sacrifice rooms. And dice rooms need 2 keys to unlock. And when you enter them, there's going to be a dice. And it's gonna have like 1 dot, 2 dots, 3 dots, 4 dots, 5 dots, or 6 dots. And depending on how many dots there are, it would determine some kind of effect. So 1 dot rerolls all of your items, 2 dot rerolls all the pickups in the room, 3 dots rerolls all pickups and trinkets on the entire floor, 4 dots rerolls all of the item pedestals on the floor, 5 dots rerolls and resets the entire floor, and 6 dots combines the effects of 1 dot, 3 dot, and 4 dots. The other niche thing that I want to talk about are crawl spaces. So crawl spaces are holes with a ladder in them, as you can see here. And pretty much when you go in them, there's typically an item, maybe there's some enemies, and you just have to kill the enemies and get the item. It's pretty simple. Crawl spaces are pretty rare and are usually found in the rocks, but there's also some items that can help you spawn crawl spaces. So next up, we got a character called Eve, and Eve is unlocked by beating 2 floors in a row without collecting any hearts. Now Eve has 2 heart containers and starts with the Whore of Babylon and the Dead Bird. So the Whore of Babylon, basically when Eve has 1 or less red hearts, then it triggers, granting Eve a bunch of stat boosts, so it pretty much makes Eve pretty good. And the dead bird, whenever Eve gets hit in a room, the dead bird spawns and it attacks enemies and stuff. It's not great, but it can do some work sometimes. Also, since Eve does want less red hearts, that means devil deals are pretty good, because they can get rid of them. They can also get you soul hearts and black hearts. The next character I'm going to talk about is Samson. So Samson is unlocked by clearing 2 floors without taking any damage. He has 3 red heart containers and starts with the Bloody Lust item. So what the Bloody Lust item does is it basically makes it so that Samson, whenever he takes damage, he increases his own damage stat. Also, he does not gain any more damage after his 6th hit of damage, and the effect only lasts for the floor, so the next floor is damage is going to be reset to normal. Okay, next up we're going to talk about transformations. So transformations occur when you collect 3 items of the same set, basically. So 3 similar related items, and then you get a transformation which gives you some pretty good buffs. So first off, these are some pretty common transformations, and the first one is Guppy. Guppy is obtained by getting 3 Guppy or cat items, so that's how you transform to Guppy. And then basically Guppy allows you to fly and has a chance to spawn a blue fly when you hit an enemy. Now Fun Guy is obtained when you get 3 mushroom items, and what Fun Guy gives you is 1 red heart container. Next we got Spun, and Spun transformation is unlocked when you get 3 syringe items. So Spun, the buff is it gives you plus 2 damage and plus 0.15 speed, and it also spawns a random pill. And lastly, the Bookworm transformation is obtained when you get 3 book items, and it gives you a 25% chance to shoot an extra tear when you're firing your tears. So now it's time to talk about the new final boss, which resides in Womb 2, which is Mom's Heart. So Mom's Heart is a heart that shoots out bullets at you, and there's also a bunch of enemies that spawn, like these laser guys that will shoot lasers at you, or these guys who shoot a bunch of bullets at you. So you're gonna want to dodge. Mom's Heart's gonna keep shooting a bunch of bullets, different bullet patterns, and then you're gonna have to deal damage to Mom's Heart. But then eventually Mom's Heart's gonna get low, and that's gonna start shooting lasers in a spiral pattern. Just go around Mom's Heart. But then once you beat it, you go in the chest, and then you will have beaten the final boss yet again. So next up we got Eden, and Eden is a character unlocked from beating Mom's Heart for the first time. And Eden is a very interesting character because he's the only character that needs a currency to play. So you need Eden tokens to play, and how you get these is whenever you beat Mom's Heart or some other bosses, but like it's mostly Mom's Heart that you beat to get the token. Pretty much you get an Eden token, and every run that you play with Eden requires a new Eden token that is consumed whenever you play a run. So Eden's a very different character because he's completely random. He gets random active item, random passive item, random trinket, random card or pill, random hearts, health, random stats. Like, he's completely random. So there's not much you can plan with him, and that's why you're probably going to be resetting him a lot. But overall, Eden's not a great character because usually he's pretty bad because of all the randomness, but sometimes he can be decent. And yeah, that's about all I can say about Eden. Next up, let's just quickly talk about some challenges. So we have challenge number 6, where you have to have all these flies around you, and they're going to be revolving you, so they're the only way you can deal damage. There's also blue flies that can spawn when you hit enemies. There is challenge number 9, which you are a demo man. So basically you shoot bombs and you have remote detonators, so you can explode the bombs at any time, which is pretty good. And then we got challenge 21, which is XXXXXXXL, and pretty much every single floor in the game is an XL floor, so it takes a really long time to actually complete this challenge. But these are the challenge rewards that you get. So from challenge 6, you get Perthrow, the Rune of Perthrow, which rerolls all item pedestals that are in the room. From challenge 9, you get the Chaos card, which kills pretty much anything. For some bosses, it might only kill one phase, but we're not that deep yet because there's a lot more bosses, major story bosses that are going to be coming soon that I'll talk about in the next episodes. And then from challenge 21, you get Gold Hearts, which form an outline around the last heart in your heart bar, and when that heart is depleted, the gold heart breaks and drops like 3 to 8 coins around you. Something else that's useful to know is that you can increase your deal chance by blowing up shopkeepers, like as you can see there, or by also blowing up beggars, which you'll see in this clip in a second. By blowing up beggars, you also increase your deal chance. So if you just have spare bombs, then you should try blowing up shopkeepers or beggars to increase your deal chance. Something very rare that can happen is if you beat Mom's Heart and then a deal spawns, a devil or angel deal, and what happens is actually it brings you to the next floor. It puts a trap door, but I won't talk about this, but this is just something to know because the next floors will be in the next episode. So next up, we're just going to talk about some chest types that are somewhat rare. You'll see them, but you won't see them that much. So we got the bomb chest. It's pretty self-explanatory. You need a bomb to open it. Pretty simple. The ethereal chest, you need a bunch of keys to actually open it, because you can open it multiple times and it'll give you a bunch of different rewards each time, until eventually after like 8 keys, you'll probably stop having stuff inside of it. Now the spiked chest is pretty simple too. If you try and open it, you're gonna take damage. So, I mean, you could open it, but you'll have to take damage to get the rewards. But the mimic chest, as you can see there, has some blood in the bottom right. It looks like a normal chest, but as soon as you get close, it's gonna turn to a spike chest. So it could theoretically kill you. Next, I'm actually gonna talk about hard mode. So, if you don't know, there's 2 different modes for normal Isaac, which is normal mode and hard mode. And pretty much hard mode just changes a bunch of stuff that makes the game harder. I'm not going to talk about all the details here, as you can read them by yourself, But some major things is that there are going to be more rooms per floor, there's going to be harder rooms and less easier rooms. It's also less likely that rooms clears are going to give hearts, so you have to maintain your health more. It's also more likely for curses to spawn, there's going to be less tinted rocks, and champion enemies are more likely to appear. And what are champion enemies, you may be asking? Well, let's get into that right here. So champion enemies are variants of normal enemies, which makes them stronger basically. So as you can see here, we have the very red Isaac enemy, and pretty much he has more health, and he drops a red heart when you kill him. The orange one makes you drop coins when you get hurt by it, and when you kill it, it drops coins. As you can see, that dark one, it explodes and drops a bomb when killed. That one, the purple one, pulls Isaac in and drops a trinket when you kill it. And that like blue one explodes into tears on death. So pretty much these enemies, there's a lot more variants, by the way. These are only like 5. There's a lot more colored variants that all do a bunch of different things, drop different things. So basically, this is just a very simple view of champion enemies, and you're gonna see them actually quite a bit, but they're not gonna appear that often. But they are annoying sometimes because they are just stronger enemies. But yeah, that's champion enemies. Okay, one last thing to mention before we get on to the other mode, the very special different mode of Isaac, is completion marks. So completion marks are pretty much like your achievements, sort of. It tracks what major story bosses that you have been in Isaac. So as you can see the heart there, that is Mom's heart. Mom does not have a completion mark, so hard mode, it's like red, as a red outline. But pretty much whenever you beat a boss with a specific character, it's going to grant you a completion mark, and every single completion mark gives you an item or unlocks an item that you can find in your future runs. So that's pretty cool. And if you want 100% the game, you gotta get every single completion mark for every single character on hard mode. So that is a pretty tough task, but overall completion marks are just nice to have, and you can use them to track your progress, so that's pretty good. But anyways, it's time to talk about greed mode. So, as you can see here, these are the different floors of greed mode. So it's pretty similar to the normal game. So we got the basement, we got the caves, we got the depths, we got the womb. Then we have Sheol, which is the floor after the womb, but I'm only going to be talking about that next episode. And then we have the shop, which is a specific floor specific to greed mode. And then we have ultra greed, which is where you fight the final boss. So how greed mode works is that you fight waves of enemies while getting money after each wave. So as you can see here, there's a timer there, and you have to complete the wave within that timer, or else the next wave will spawn and you have to deal with those enemies as well, and it can get really overwhelming. Also, as you can see, there's a red button in the middle, so when you hit the red button, it stops everything, but you take damage. So you can stop all the waves incoming, but you take damage, pretty much. So yeah, as you can see, there are waves under the keys currency. You can see the waves. So there's 8 normal waves where you fight normal enemies. Then it stops. Then you can click the boss one, which does the next 2 waves. So yeah, as you can see, 9 out of 10 and 10 out of 10 are boss waves. And even after the boss wave, there is another button, and if you press that one, you can get 11 out of 10, wave 11 out of 10. And the reason why you click this one, so wave 1 to 10 is mandatory, wave 11 is optional, but if you complete this wave, which has multiple bosses, you will get a devil or angel deal. So it's pretty advised to do wave 11 because getting a deal every single floor is pretty good. Plus, it works the same like normal Isaac, so the first deal is always going to be a devil deal. If you skip that one, then the next one will be an angel deal, yeah. But if you don't do the special wave, like wave 11, floor 1, and the next floor you get the deal, it doesn't count as you skipping the devil deal. So you can't get an angel deal if you didn't skip the devil deal in the floor 1. Because not getting the deal doesn't count because you technically didn't skip it. You didn't even get the deal in the first place. Also, once you actually complete your waves, there's an exit room, and pretty much usually it might have like enemies, or it might have like chests and stuff, and then you can progress to the next floor. And this is where we're going to talk about rooms. So, as you can see, this is the main room, but this is the greed shop. And as you can see, it's a bit different from the normal shop, where it refreshes whenever you buy an item. So that's the greed shop. Nothing crazy. We also got the treasure rooms on the side. So the silver treasure room is like a free treasure room. You just get it for free. You don't need to do anything. You get it every single floor except for the shop. But the yellow or the golden treasure room, you have to use a key for. And like I said, the shop only has a shop and a curse room. There's no treasure rooms in the shop. But speaking about the curse rooms, the curse room, there's a curse room in every single floor. And they're pretty much just normal curse rooms. They just have normal curse room stuff. So, I mean, if you want to go in them, you can. But honestly, I don't go in them too much. I mean, I'm running Samson this run, so I did go in them for the extra damage. But yeah, anyways, now I'm going to talk about Ultra Greed. So as I said, that's the final floor. So right before you actually fight the final boss, you have to fight these like mini Ultra Greed guys. They're pretty easy. But it just gets you prepared for the actual final boss, which is Ultra Greed. So, as you can see, Ultra Greed is this giant big guy. He has quite a few attacks. So he's gonna summon these guys that are gonna attack you. He also has this like gambling machine thing. So there's the bomb coins that will explode, and there's the heart coins that will give him health if you don't destroy them. There's also the key coins that, if not destroyed, will open the doors on the sides. And a bunch of like these guys will come in and try to attack you and kill you. So this guy is also pretty beefy. This guy is like really beefy. He's really strong. He has a lot of health. But if you can manage to beat him, then he will turn to gold. And there will be a chest and a greed donation machine. So the greed donations machine is similar to the regular donation machine, where if you donate enough, it will unlock specific things that I'll get over to in a second, but also just letting you know if you go into the chest, you end the run just like normal. Anyways, now I'm going to talk about the rewards you can get from donating to the greed donation machine. So if you donate 2 coins, then you can unlock lucky pennies, which means that very rarely, but some of the pennies that you find will be lucky, which means when you pick them up, you'll gain +1 luck, which is pretty good considering you only have to donate 2 coins. Now, if you donate 14 coins, you unlock special hanging shopkeepers. And this is pretty similar to special shopkeepers, which you unlock after donating 234 coins to the greed donation machine. So pretty much they're like the same thing. Basically, whenever a shopkeeper has these like coin eyes, as you can see, if you blow them up, they have a chance to drop a nickel. Which, I mean, it's pretty good, I guess. Like, I don't use it that often, but like, if you need money, then it is a pretty reliable way to get a nickel. Anyways, next up we have Kane Hole's Paperclip, which is when you donate 68 coins to the greed donation machine. So, Kane will start with the Paperclip trinket. And what the Paperclip trinket does is it makes it so that all locked chests can be opened for free, so you don't need to spend a key. And yeah, that's a permanent thing. So Kane will always start with a paperclip, the paperclip trinket. And lastly, if you donate 111 coins to the donation machine, then you'll get Everything is Terrible 2. And all this does is make Ultra Greed harder. It'll make him like spawn stuff faster or something. It just makes his boss fight harder. It's not a good thing, obviously, but you kind of need to get that in order to get the future things that are pretty good. There's quite a few more good things that you can get from the greed donation machine, but I'll be covering that later, like when you donate like 879 coins. But anyways, that's going to be it for the rewards from the greed donation machine. And moving on, it's time to talk about the final thing in this video, which is the character Lilith. So, Lilith is unlocked by beating a greed mode game with Azazel. So you have to win, you have to beat Ultra Greed with Azazel to unlock Lilith. So Lilith is quite an interesting character and has quite a few things. So first off, Lilith has one red heart and two black hearts. Lilith is blindfolded, which means that Lilith cannot shoot bullets on her own. But gladly, she has on the right, very right there, that is Incubus. And Incubus pretty much acts as its own shooter. So pretty much all your shots are coming from the Incubus, which is a familiar that is beside you. So whenever you're trying to shoot something, you have to be like in a weirder position because you're not shooting straight, it's beside you, so you have to like get in the right position so your Incubus can actually attack correctly. Also, the other items would be Box of Friends and Cambion Conception. So Box of Friends is that golden box, and what it does is it pretty much all of the familiars you have, so like Incubus would be included, or like Rod and Baby would be included. Any familiars that are like shooters, they shoot for you pretty much. They get duplicated from Box of Friends when you use it in the room. So let's say you're in a room, you use Box of Friends, now you have two Incubus instead of one Incubus. But if you leave the room, then you only have one Incubus remaining. Now, Cambion Conception is pretty similar to that like red like thing. You see that red thing? Yeah. So that's Cambion Conception. And pretty much, it summons a permanent familiar if you take damage 15 times. So you take damage 15 different times, you get a permanent familiar, demonic familiar. If you take 15 times of damage again after that, then you'll also get another permanent. And then for your third demonic familiar, you have to take damage 30 more times, and you're same for your fourth familiar. And yeah, pretty much if you just take a bunch of damage, then eventually you'll spawn a bunch of demonic familiars, which can combo with your Box of Friends because you can duplicate familiars. So pretty much, let's get into actually logistics of Lilith and like how they actually act in game. So overall in normal mode, they're not too bad, and usually you want to use your Box of Friends for the boss so you can have multiple Incubus to be able to deal with the boss. But where Lilith really shines is greed mode. So you unlock Lilith from greed mode, but greed mode is perfect because every time you clear a wave, your active item gains charge. So pretty much you can get a ton of familiars. Look at all these guys, like, and especially with the right items, look at this. I am absolutely destroying Ultra Greed here. It's not even close. It's ridiculous. You can just get so many familiars, and it's probably one of the best units using greed mode. So that's where Lilith really shines. She's decent in normal mode, but like in greed mode, she really shines the most. But that is the end of this episode. So I thank you for watching. We went over quite a few things, the womb, greed mode, and stuff, but that's the end. And thanks for watching this episode of How to Isaac.